Okay, so for this video, I'm going to show you how I like the math to be done for calorie conversions. So, reminder that one big calorie is equal to 1 kilocalorie. And remember, kilo means 1,000. So 1 kilocalorie or one big calorie is equal to 1,000 little calories. Okay, and so if I wanted you to do a math problem dealing with this, let's say you have 5 big calories and I want to know how many little calories that is, you would be able to say, well, that's 5,000 because you just multiplied by 1,000. But you have to show me all of your work. Okay, so you start out rewriting what you were given. So 1 big calorie. And I'm going to use this straight line, but that represents multiplication. Some of you use a little dot to show that or an X to show that. My line is showing that. Okay, so you start out with 5 big calories and you want to convert it to little calories. Okay, so I'm going to draw my little division sign there. I know that I need to get rid of my big calories. And so I know that needs to be on the bottom over here. And I'm trying to find little calories. So that needs to be on the top over here. And then I need to compare, I have 1 big calorie equal to 1,000 little calories. So the 1 is beside the big C and the 1,000 is by the little c. Okay, and now I can show the units canceling out. So the big calories are going to cancel, and then you're left with 5 times 1,000 little calories, which is equal to 5,000 little calories. And that is your answer. So I know that you can figure it out just by looking at it, but you will have to show your work in a case like this. Okay, so let's do some more problems. Let me add a page. All right, so some other conversions you need to know is that 1 gram of fat is equal to 9 kilocalories, and 1 gram of carbs is equal to 4, and 1 gram of protein is also equal to 4 kilocalories. Okay, so again, in situations like this, you have to show your work when you're doing conversions. So if I had 5 grams of fat and I want to know how many kilocalories that is, again, it's really easy to just look at it and say, well, that's 5 times 9, which is 45. But you have to show your work. Okay, so we'll start out the same way, 5 grams of fat. Put my line, which again means to multiply, and then draw my line. Remember, I'm trying to find kilocalories, which means I have to get rid of my grams. Okay, so that means grams has to go on the bottom, kilocalories on top. And so again, you have 1 gram for 9 calories. So I'm going to put the 1 by the G and the 9 by the kcal. And then I can cancel out the grams of fat. And I'll be left with 5 times 9 kilocalories, which is 45 kilocalories. Okay. And you would do the same thing working backwards. So for example, if I told you you had 20 big calories, then I want to know how many grams of protein that is. Okay, so again, you start out with your 20 calories, draw your line. This time you're trying to find grams, which means you have to cancel out your calories. So your big cals go on the bottom, grams on top. And since we're working with protein this time, there are 4 calories in 1 gram of protein. Okay, let me write that. All right, and so then your calories cancel, and then you're left with 20 grams of protein divided by 4, and so that is just 5 grams of protein. Okay, so pretty simple, but you do have to show all of your work to get credit for all of this. All right, and then one more example. Let me do a new page on this one. Okay, so what if you were asked about percentage? So I know a lot of you, it's probably been a while since you've had to figure out percent of something, but percent is just equal to, some of you might remember, is over of times 100. Or I like to use part over whole times 100. Okay, so let's work out an example here. Okay, so let's say you have for breakfast 360 calorie meal. Okay, so that's total calories. Okay, let me put total for your breakfast. And you were reading the back of the box and it told you that there were 12 grams of fat. Okay, so what if I want to know what percent of the total calories came from fat? Okay, so that's the question. So if I look at this and try to figure out which is the is and which is the of, or which is the part and which is the whole, this 12 grams of fat is the part and the 360 calories is the whole. Okay, so initially you might want to put 12 grams over 360 calories. But you cannot do that, and the reason is because they have different units. So they technically cannot cancel each other out. So you have to start by converting either the grams to calories or the calories to grams. And so we will convert the grams to calories. Okay, so we'll start out with 12 grams. And again, we're dealing with fat. Okay, so 12 grams of fat, draw my line. I want to get rid of grams and I want to get calories. So my big cal is going to go on top, grams on the bottom. The 1 always goes beside gram. And since we're dealing with fat, there's for 1 gram of fat, there are 9 kilocalories. All right, and so then I just cancel out my grams. And then you're left with 12 times 9, which is 108 big calories. Okay, so now that number right here is my part. And remember, my whole is the 360. Okay, so now I just need to divide that out. So I have 108 calories divided by 360 calories. My calories cancel, and then I'm left with 0.3. And then, of course, we have to multiply by 100 still. And so that's 30%. So 30% of that breakfast came from fat. Okay, and that's all there is to it. From this point on, try to use these examples to help you work through the practice problems.